Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. It is Coffee with Eddie, and my guests today are the one and only Ambrea Mikolajczyk and Kevin Mikolajczyk. And for those of you who haven't been paying attention, you spell Mikolajczyk, Mikolajczyk. Did I get it right?
Great job. Great job. That's how we teach our children.
Yeah, so for those who remember the Mickey Mouse Club, that's the best way to remember. So my friends Kevin and Ambrea, we met in 2013 when I sold your property over in Perrysburg. And that was kind of a middle ground, I think, probably, of what was going on with ARK Restorations and Construction, correct?
Yes, very much so. You met us at a pivotal moment. We had purchased the first major multi-family fixer-upper, if you will, a 15-unit building. And we were embarking upon that whole financial stack and going through that renovation. Mm-hmm. And at that time, we decided to sell our house in Perrysburg, move into it so we could finish it and have the capital to do so without the added burden of a mortgage and everything that comes along with owning your own home. And so, it was a big pivotal moment for us when we met.
I think entrepreneurs call that investing in yourself, right? Yeah. So,
absolutely.
So let's go backwards a little bit. So, Kevin, you guys have got just an interesting background. Construction is not your background. Real estate is not your background. You were in finance.
Yes, sir.
So how did that transition happen?
I think it was more boredom than anything. Just look for something else. So look to start investing in real estate, mm-hmm. and bought a house in a duplex, and then it was every day after work, hey, change clothes in the car and go work on a project. And we did that for 4 years or something. No, like every day after work until we started having kids. And then it was just like, that's too much to go, go to work 8 hours and then go over here and work till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes even later than that, Mm-hmm. So, yep.
And then Ambrea, you were in pharmaceutical sales.
Yes. So right out of college, I got a job with Pfizer doing pharmaceutical sales. Mm-hmm. And loved it. I mean, pharmaceutical sales was a great career. I learned a lot, met a lot of people who I'm still close with today. And decided that, again, our real estate portfolio was starting to grow significantly. And whereas Kevin was kind of at this pivotal moment when he decided to resign, we met another pivotal moment where it was like, okay, we have an opportunity to not only grow our real estate portfolio, but launch a construction company to help us with our portfolio. And so at the end of 2017, I finally got up enough courage and left my career to start, expanding our interests.
I think they call that burning the ships.
Yeah, there you go. But what's really interesting that we didn't know if we'd have to go back to the ship. Yeah. So even though we were resigning and we were taking these leaps of faith and we know we work hard and we'll figure it out, we still weren't 100% certain if it was going to work out. And so, but we always had the mindset that if we explored it and seen what could happen, that we can always go back if we needed to. So.
But, I think the most successful people I've ever spoken to, there's never been a situation where it's 100% certain, right? It's that chance that this may all fall apart that keeps you working hard.
Yes, mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's We've got to eat, right? Just go out and get it all done. So
how do you make the leap from the duplex over to the Wonder Bread place?
Oh, I mean, they all correlate, right? It's just a matter of size and scale.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's still an existing building. It's still an existing core and a shell, and you're just building inside of that box. Mm-hmm. So I think, and then it's just, more units, right? So instead of, maybe 5 or 15 or 20 or whatever, now it's, 33 and 80 some thousand square foot. But at the end of the day, it's just little bites and it gets done.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Cause we had already established a great team on our other places, right? And so we already have a great HVAC company. We already have a great plumbing company, electrical company, carpenters who work with us. And so to Kevin's point, it's just a bigger deal. It's the same, approaching it the same. Hey, you have all these pieces of the puzzle, you put them together and bam, you have a complete apartment. It's the same, just a bigger building.
we're probably dumbing it down a lot too. But
We probably are.
Well, it's just like when people are having kids. It's like 1 kid, 4 kids. It's all the same.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. We could keep going on the kid front. Like it's no once you hit a certain threshold, and this as well as anybody, but it's you just figure it out, but the same approach. Yeah.
So there are a lot of challenges that you have to get through. One, getting the capital to be able to conquer a project like the Wonder Bread building. So what is that like? How do you start that process, and how do you end up with success at the end?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We're very unique in this aspect as well, because a lot of developers or people that you would talk to, they have a plan first and then they go out and work the plan. Kevin and I typically just jump right in and we'll figure everything out later. I'm not saying that that's the best approach, but that's just the approach that's worked for us up until this point. And so we purchased Wonder Bread Factory knowing that it was going to be different for us in the way that we couldn't go to a traditional lending institution and say, give us $7.5 million to renovate this property. A, the market doesn't support that. B, they would say, where are you getting these residents from that's going to pay the type of rent? And so you have to really be creative. And so we had talked to people who had did historic tax credits in the past and kind of got their take on it, and whatever they suggested, we would investigate, if you will. And so we started just talking to a lot of people, figuring out what they've done, and then they would give us more resources and places to go. And so then we just set out trying to figure every piece of it out as we were in the thick of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. We did learn a lot, I will say that. And so for the next deal, we will be those ones who now we have a plan. Now we know what to do. Now we know what not to do. To get the next one where it needs to be much sooner.
Well, I appreciate the time you guys have spent with me. I'm very happy to know you and to be friends with you guys, and very happy to see all the positive things you're doing for our community. Thank you so much for your time.